HamiltonRadio.net, what up? What's good? Say Q, Drew Smitty, Ron Committee, So Unique is back. Yeah. West Trent. Yeah. Hip hop lives through me, it came from the streets. Rhythm with a break beat, prove who can MC. Metaphors and techniques made you have to check me. My dialect connect peace, lyrics that are wet sheets. Spit it raw and sexy, shorty wanna F me. Swerving to the left beat, on the grind and stress free. Bust a shot of dead beef, hit him in the headpiece. Warned you not to test me, ice bars is Gretzky. Slide it in your wifey, all the women love me. A slight touch of grimy, slice and half a dime piece. Knuckle rapper 5-piece, high looking Chinese. Muay Thai on IP, vivid on your widescreen. Eyes wide like high beams, too low to find me. Switching lanes like car thieves, Starsky and Hush trees. Roll up the best weed, firewater Hennessy. Ginseng for energy, holla mommy Ben Aki. He play hits, HamiltonRadio.net station. The Monk Show, I'm tuned in. He play hits, HamiltonRadio.net station. The Monk Show, I'm tuned in. He play hits, HamiltonRadio.net station. The Monk Show, I'm tuned in. He play hits, HamiltonRadio.net station. The Monk Show, I'm tuned in.
Welcome to the Monk Show.
All right, what up? I was caught up over here, man. Tonight's topic is relationships. We're going to jump into some stuff. Got a couple videos and stuff. One of them couldn't make it. The other co-host, Z-Vega, couldn't make it. So, we'll get her on the fly next time. So, the reason, well, first of all, we'll introduce the lovely Courtney Smith.
Thank you. Hey, guys.
Hey, all right. So, the reason why we doing this because there's some hard times out here, right? Some hard times going on, relationship wise. Like we're gonna talk. I'm gonna talk about some of mine. She's gonna be talking about some of hers, and y'all can call in if y'all scrolling through. If it's something that you want to get off your chest about the situation, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I do got some videos to start with, but we just going. Start from the hip. Now, Courtney, you had some things on your mind. Yes, things on your mind.
Always got something on my mind.
I mean, talk about, as far as like the topic and stuff.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's been hard out here for pimp.
See?
Hard.
See? Hard out here for a pimp. She ain't lying. Women is pimps. They pimping y'all. Pimping the hell out you niggas. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. But this Rona thing messed my little.
Oh, you know what, Rube, you got to change the all natural corner, man. You got that on the screen. Yeah, but shout out to them anyway. Go ahead.
No, but this Rona thing, that's what messed me up. I think. I don't know. I'm just mad right now because, I ain't gonna say. You know what? I'm not gonna say what happened because that's too explicit, but. Let's just say that this Rona thing really fucked up my little groove I had going on.
It fucked it up.
Yeah. Talking about you couldn't touch some niggas that's scared now, like I'm gonna die if I come see you.
Yeah.
Nigga, I don't got the Rona.
Yeah, that too. Like some people are so like really scared.
Yeah,
they're like really scared, and that took the whole intimacy thing away. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That took the whole and it's kind of fucked up right now because you got people wearing a mask. Like, how do you have any, like in the house? There are people that just walk around the house still since the quarantine thing started with the mask on. People ain't been getting no coochie or none of that. And I'm like, y'all gonna let the government like scare you to where you destroying your own? Because once you ain't got that no more, then it's over. Some people stay for years with that, just be like, well, I'm just deal with it just to be around a person. But once you don't got that, that's like, what the hell is you doing? Some people got their motives and stuff behind why they stay in crazy relationships. Sometimes it's mostly for the sake of being with somebody so you don't feel alone.
Right.
But a lot of times you could be with somebody for 20 and 30 years and never be happy. You could be with somebody that long and never caught a orgasm. That stuff is important. Like, you get one life. You should be with somebody that could provide at least half of that. Now, you may not be able to do everything because it seems to come out that, I'm going to be frank, most people got multiple partners, or at least two. One to fulfill their fantasy, one to fulfill their financial thing, stability. So this go both ways. You got a cat that might be married for these years, but wifey ain't, doing all the freaky stuff. Maybe she work a lot, or she just not that type of person. She might just give you missionary and every once in a while back shot. But then you got a lot of money tied up with this person. She just don't do all that. So that lead a guy to, on the side to do the same thing. Now, on the flip side, she might be doing the same thing too. She might got somebody who, she might be more on the intelligent side. So she got a guy she deal with for the brain part, but keep her husband at home for the, you know what I'm saying? For the financial stability part, or with the kids, or if you got any, half the bills and stuff like that. It become easier when you got a partner, but then the game starts. If you ain't got no honesty. Now, honesty is rare to come past. Most people gonna lie to each other. Let's just be frank. You know what I'm saying? Most people are in these relationships lying to you. It's all game. Nobody taught them the game. That's why it's all crazy out here. It is a game being played. And a lot of men are being simplified to the point where you could be caught in a relationship for a long term and you ain't getting nothing out of it. I see that all the time, man.
And that's such a waste.
Yeah, I mean, for the woman, the most part, she always gonna get something out of it, cause she don't have to deal with just you. You know what I mean? We just think that, or made to think that, or maybe told that, well, just you. But in reality, every time you walk outside, there's some cat in her face. She might not tell you that, but that's what's going on.
And they don't care if you got a man.
Yeah, cats don't care,
They
yo.
don't care. They're like, what that got to do with me?
Could-
Like, nigga,
how about-
he will beat you up.
Yo, let's talk about that, because
Like, nigga, don't you know my nigga is crazy?
that too. But then you got cats that walk up to you and want to talk. Like, this happens in Newark. Newark good for this. If them cat, like a cat walk up to you and try to kick it to you and you don't say nothing to them or not, it might
They
get
get
violent.
disrespectful. Yeah, it's like
get
that a lot. It's
disrespectful.
like that everywhere.
I know a girl that got shot in the head because she wasn't trying to talk to the dude and he just shot her. It's like, you know what I mean? She didn't even cuss him out or nothing. It was just, you got stuff like that. So on the far end, we might think, oh, she can get anybody she want, but that don't make that a good thing. Because you got cats that's real forceful, rapists, all that stuff, big time. Cats is doing anything to get some coochie. You know what I'm saying? And then you got women that do some nefarious things for dick. You know what I mean? Like, let's talk about it. Let's talk about teachers messing with the little kids. How you got these teachers messing with little kids and some of them are married. So that take the whole dynamic away from what marriage is supposed to be like. You're supposed to be happy. You're supposed to stay with this person for the rest of your life and dedicate for thinking fan death to your part, right? That's what they say. But all too often, that ain't being played out. Because as soon as somebody unhappy with it, the game begins. And the game is the lies. The game is, I'm going to the store, I'll be back, but you going to your jump off spot. It could be a half hour, 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
I'm going to walk the dog.
You're going to walk the dog.
But while I'm walking the dog, I'm talking to my side piece on the phone.
See, I love how you keep it real. That's why I got to
nigga,
have
you
it
just
real.
walk the dog. Why you
That's
walk
right.
the dog? That's right.
Tell them how it is, because cats need to learn. Women do too. Women have their own way, like they rocking shit right now, but then they have the pitfall too when they don't always get the man that they want. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might want this dude. Usually the dude you want is the dude that's harder to get, because it's some excitement, like, type of challenge, like, you know what I'm saying? But a guy that's chasing you, you might not want that guy. because you're doing too much.
The story of my life.
I know you get chased all the time. You
No.
get like a bunch of trails.
Yeah.
What's that? Come here. What's the wild? Let me ask you this. What's the wildest approach that a guy has walked up to you and tried to say something? Like, what's the most wild thing you can remember?
I can't remember. I don't know.
They don't get too wild, just be regular.
They don't get too wild. Because people be saying that I don't look approachable. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I am, though. Come on.
You don't look approachable.
Please.
It's that bad, huh?
Nah, just
That's like, oh, she over there super pretty. I'm not going to go over there and say nothing. Well, maybe that might be the case for some people. I've never been a chasing woman type of thing. You know why? Because in high school, cats used to make you talk to the girls, and if you didn't do it, they'd give you body shots, that type of thing. So that kind of like naturally, like, man, you just kind of like.
Men to say what they want to do to you, though.
Yeah,
like,
they could say that.
I just want to eat. Yeah, I just want to drink your bath, but I just want to eat you.
I mean, do you appreciate that type of honesty or?
No, I don't like it.
So, like, when a guy that you're interested in, see, the thing is, we don't make a decision. We can say what we want to say, but you already got the decision made up of what you go get this guy some attention or not, right?
Yeah, most of the time.
For most of the time. But then there's somebody that can probably talk their way. Sometimes it'll grow on you. You had somebody that's working,
Yeah, I had
put some work
somebody
in.
that grew on me.
Okay, because the experience is important for this topic. Like, you got some people who don't have them type of experience to say that. So we want to get all around it. So you didn't have nobody wild. Nobody said nothing. Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? I get crazy. Some people just get crazy. You could be.
Not that I can remember, no.
Okay. I've seen some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people just have a wild attraction for each other and don't even know each other. So that type of thing, that part. Now, sometime during this show, I'm going to play some of this video from this guy named Dr. Boa. He's like on his pimp thing and everything, but really what it is he's just telling the game how it really is, the harsh truth about it, man. And a lot of people don't want to hear that, but most people are going through that. Regardless of you just being black, it's a game that's being played, and it's always a winner. We in the age where most men get downplayed.
But after a while, like after a certain age, like, first of all, what is the point of playing the game? What is the point of that?
Well, you got old people in the nursing home. Well, the game is like, it could be for a number of things: attention, financial gain, sex, manipulation. You know what I'm saying? Any type of influence that you can get, from your significant other. Because the whole point of it, if you're not getting nothing out of it, what are you there for? Some people don't care about that. Like I said, some people are together just to be together to say, I got somebody, but the situation is like fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
A waste.
Yeah. I mean, everybody go through their ups and downs. So now you got that whole love thing. That love thing get crazy, yo, because that had you doing a whole bunch of dumb shit. Now, I've been there before. I played the fool. But looking back on it, you be like, damn. Because if you don't learn from your mistakes, then you're going to continue to do the same stuff. And the mistakes is, a lot of us be looking for love in the wrong places. And we put trust in a person who you shouldn't, and people that you shouldn't put trust in, as far as like your personal business. Sometimes I'm learning like you're not supposed to, like if you're an open person, you're not really supposed to tell all your personal business to a person you just meeting. But some people just talkative like that. But some of them, you don't pay attention to the red flags if you're yearning for company and stuff like that.
Yeah, you do pay it. Sometimes you do, but you.
I guess it depends on the person.
You just you let it go. Like, oh, he'll change, or you know what I'm saying.
So, what's your take on that? Like, change is. Do you personally have a mission to change most of the men you do deal with? Is it like a change, or you want them a certain type of way?
I be expecting them to already be the way I want them to be. But if I see something different, then it might turn me off, and then that's when I eventually sway away, like leave the situation.
So it's like a pre-made thing already, but he doesn't know it.
You don't know what.
The guy that you interested in doesn't know what type of qualities you looking for, but you already know.
Yeah, of course I know what qualities I'm looking for.
Well, I'm just saying, like when you most cats is not gonna say certain things about what they want. You just kind of have to figure it out.
Some men ask though.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That part of honesty, because people just come out and say things now. That's the part. Like it ain't no like the whole the polite part and all that. That seem it might work for some people, but we dealing with women. Most of our women have been through some shit. Black women, so all that lovey-dovey stuff is here and there. Some cats might be able to bring that out of her, but the majority can't. It'll just be, the excitement part, the thrill part, and spending some money, the dates and all that stuff. But COVID done messed all that stuff up. It's trying to come back now. Come back a little bit. It's just still awkward. And then you got people who are like that scared, like we were saying before we started the show. People just scared. All the social distancing and stuff. People still social distancing in the house. Like, yo, if we keep on going like this, ain't no kids gonna be born. You gotta look at that because it's, people at each other necks, and it took like, being that everybody got to walk around with the mask, the disinfectant thing, and all that stuff. Some people may be chilling, but from watching stuff, the majority of people are still scared. You got people in their houses that's not touching each other. That was lovey-dovey before this, so they scared to catch the corona. So you gonna let something that's outside of your house destroy your whole love life? See, now that paved way for a lot of insanity. People like cats that don't get enough for a long time, they go crazy. And I know women be wanting it just as much as men. And look at the crime rate. Look at it. Look at the crime rate. Why you think that is? All this wilding out. Most people don't even got no way to get into it or nowhere to do it. Yeah, that too. Or anywhere to do it now because now when you even the process of meeting somebody, I'm sure somebody's still hooking up and met somebody. But now it's like, if you at the grocery store or library or whatever you at, you got a mask on. So you don't even know what a joker look like. You might see a person, oh, that's a fat ass. Take the mask off, it might be a man with a fat ass. See, now you got to worry about all that. You don't even know who you're talking to no more. See, this is some fucked up shit. And even though everybody rioting and the thing that happened with Breonna Taylor and all that stuff, in the midst of all of this, everybody rioting like we just going to war. But you got to remember, you got to fight for something. What is the fight for? What are you fighting for? Just to be walking around with your dick in your hand? You know what I'm saying? Like, the way I put it, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's something to be fighting for, whether it's a relationship. For heterosexuals, that should be, the yearning for the opposite sex or some type of communion with that. And then you got the homosexuals. Why don't you deal with that?
What?
Because you wanted to talk about it.
Well, I ain't really want to talk. I don't really want to talk about it. I'm just saying, like.
All right, well, they deal with the same type of thing.
Some men are undercover.
Yeah, that thing, because like we were saying with the been bad thing, that guy dude that exposed a lot of people. So that was a.
It was quiet.
But it's not just him.
It was quiet in the town when that was going on. Man, I was like, where was everybody at?
Man, some places it's still quiet. Some places it has not led up, and it was behind some of that. So I don't know, and you got to think, why would this guy get so much attention? Yeah, he might be dressed like a chick, whatever, but how do you get so much attention and it's all these women? So how did this happen? Do you think this is a transgression of the age for the music or something? To have so many people running after tranny men now.
I think some men are curious and some are attracted. Like some men are attracted to that. That's just, maybe curious.
Yeah, this didn't, because it's definitely off the hook. You don't know what you're looking at sometimes. Now, this for the men. Now, as far as the women, they pretty much could tell certain things because, they got all the parts. But for dudes, a lot of us are naive and stupid than a motherfucker. But don't worry, I'm going to hit you up with some information. You know what I mean? Hit you up with some stuff that we can eat, snack, and chew on. Now, Ruben, what's the first video we got queued up? Yeah, run that, man. Cue that up. I got a couple videos that I, arranged to add to the subject because most people, wanna, this is a juicy subject when you talk about relationships and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And everybody looking for love in some type of way, but then to the alpha male, they don't get too much love because you can't really put your emotions out there just to keep control of a situation or over the woman and stuff like that. Because that show of weakness, even so, some women may want to see that, the tender side and all of that. If it's not being shown the right way, then that could be viewed as weakness, and then the whole situation is like a turn off. Like, damn, nigga, you down there groveling. You may do a couple tears, but all right, but nigga, you started groveling, shit like that. Then you be like, oh, damn, I've been fucking with this nigga, and I done seen it, and I done heard it, from other people. I've been the side nigga before, a few times. Sometimes the side dude, sometimes, all the time, the side dude get more information than the guy in the relationship. Because that's the outlet. While she go see him, she'll complain. Now this is for select suits, so I'm not saying everybody.
Right, everybody don't.
Everybody, but
some
she'll
people
complain.
don't talk about it at all. They don't even talk about they relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it depends on what guy you did, because some guys wouldn't even allow it. Mm-hmm. They don't even want to talk about that shit.
Right.
They do what you do, send you back to God.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of stuff, so that stuff be going on for years, man. And a lot of people don't want to admit it. Like, you got the guy that's getting the truth, but then you got the guy that's being lied to. But then that's working both ways because women do the same thing. Women play the game just like men play the game. You can have a guy that's doing the same thing that she's doing. But it's just the guy stands more of a chance to be fucked up in a situation. Because a woman could just, that freak side, if you can't bring out that freak side, bro, somebody else will. And that's the hard part that a lot of dudes, you can spend all the money, cars, you can buy cars, you can stop me when you're ready.
First, you can teach. First of all, you can really teach a guy what to do. Like, if he's not pleasing you, you can teach him.
So the trainable moment, you can't tell him what to do.
I had to train.
But would you like it better if you didn't have to do it and you just knew already like certain things?
Yeah, that would be nice. But
that would be nice.
That's not always the case.
Realistically, like, you got to kind of say something. Yeah. Well, you're just a more practical woman. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? We had a woman here last night that wowed out, and as much as we try to look at certain women. When you get wild, some of them get wild. But this was a white woman though. She got wild, called us niggas and everything and stuff. The thing is, she wasn't ugly. She looked it all right. But a motherfucker would have stomped a mud hole on her ass if she, you know what I'm saying?
But I don't understand what makes men think we want dick pics? Like, why do niggas just I look like I want a dick pic? What did I do?
So you get random dick pics?
Yes, sometimes, and it's annoying. Like,
I think that I think that right there
What?
is a form of insecurity. Because if
you
you
just sending
leading
your
off
dick
that,
for?
because I've done had women in my life that I've gotten from dudes with bigger penises than mine. Mine was working to give her the extra
Just
pointers
out the
and
blue,
stuff.
like, let me just send her a dick pic.
So you got cats that have this what they call it, the ego thing. Like, I got the big dick, and I'm gonna just send it to you, so you know what you're working with.
I'll be like,
That might be, you might be watching too much porn, brother. Something you can't just be sending everybody random dick pics. Because if you got one, then everybody else got one. You got to keep your shit sacred too, man. I know cats is gangster with their stuff, and you know some women are like that, like just okay, you know, up front, so they might be encouraged to do that from the others. So by the time you know get around to you, it's just doing the same process. Think about the dating sites, things like Tag, High Five, Tinder, or whatever dating sites you got on. I go on some of them sites and they got live just like Facebook. People will be it'll be. I've seen like 20-something thousand people watch a girl sleep before.
That's on Tinder. What you was on Tinder?
Tag. So you got people that you could be dealing with up to 100.
And they get paid for that too, don't they?
You could get money out of people. I guess they got their different arrangements and stuff, but you could get some money out of it. But the attention thing, like you could never feel like you the one, even if you're being told that this shit ain't true. I wouldn't advise it. Like, there might not be everybody. We talk about like in America, the other countries have different customs and the women are raised different, so that's a different thing. But amongst the black Americans over here, we already dealing with the slavery thing and the mind state of the European, approach to relationships. That's the biggest thing. Because the marriage laws that we follow by were made up by the Daughters of the American Revolution in 1914. So everything about that was based around a European style thing. That's where the alimony come from, based on like if a woman's going to be the housewife type of thing. Because the reason they came up with certain laws, a lot of the soldiers from that's because that was the First World War, they were leaving home, sleeping with the Cambodia, wherever they was at, Korea, and not coming back. So they had to create a way, you see a lot of these older cats with the Korean women, that's what they went. That was like, back in them, and that's how they built in relationships from back in them times. I guess, them Korean women know how to treat them because they wasn't coming back. And we talking about scores of thousands of men was not coming back home. And they felt like, well,
and they had wives at home?
They had wives and children at home, most of them. So this was the thing for the alimony and why they came up with the laws for that. So
damn,
it's
they
like
must have had sunshine over there.
Yeah. So the thing was the submissiveness. A man wants a woman to submit to him, but you can't get that out of a tough woman. You have like most of us nowadays have to settle with a woman who's damn near thinking like you. And even on the physical part, we got some strong ass women. You got some big dudes, but I just watched a video where this little skinny girl was giving it to this dude. He popped him all up, and I'm like, damn, Neff. It's already enough to fight a woman, but that kind of goes out the window when you dealing with a woman who got hands. She gonna whoop your ass and make you look stupid. And it's even worse that if you swing back, you miss, you can't even get a hit off, and this person all little beating your ass is embarrassing. But this goes back into, it's a lot of men in those relationships getting their ass whooped by their woman. Let's talk about it. You've done seen it. You got at least one girlfriend that beat their man ass.
I don't.
No?
I don't got no girlfriends that beat their man ass.
Well, you've probably seen it before. Come on,
I've seen
man.
them fight before. But
We live in Trenton, bro. We don't got that many submissive women that's just going to be all like that. She might do that with certain guys, but that guy that she might be submissive for was not using that on some love shit. It's just, I'm going to fuck the shit out of you, and, we might Netflix and chill, or some shit like that, smoke some weed, drink some alcohol, and stuff like that, but no public appearances. But the guy that's, want to spend all the money, all in love, want to romance you and buy clothes and pay your bills, he chasing, but he don't get all the benefits that the other guy do.
Because sometimes they be annoying.
See? That's what I'm saying. You break it down. Well, talk about that. Why? Talk about like how guys that do that are annoying and what they could do to stop that shit.
It's just because I be feeling like I'm not the only one they do that to. I be feeling like
You don't feel genuine?
Right, sometimes. They
It's
don't.
like you did anybody to do that.
Like, oh, that's how you are? Like, you like that with everybody? Like, you know what I'm saying?
How many times have you gotten just perks off of just being in a place and looking good?
A Come on, y'all.
All right, see, I'm just saying. I was expecting you to say like, I can't count them. It's just a lot. But you got a lot of other women that live off of that. That's their thing. They could just show up. They go to the bar. They know all they gotta do is sit there. They gotta have no money. Just sit there. Talk to them. Somebody gonna spend some. Look, you need a drink. Boom. You have to be that type of attraction you give her. You got to make yourself attractive like that. Sometimes a man, you got to be the one to sit at the bar and a woman buy you a drink. That's called self-esteem. And you don't got to be Billy D. Williams. I think we just caught up on this look thing. All you got to do is be presentable, man. And we got to concentrate more on your mind tactics than, all the material stuff because, that's cool. That's an attractive factor. But if you just using that, it could become corny. And it mess your conversation up.
I get turned off super fast.
Well, let's talk about it. What turns you off that fast? Just give us some red flags because I know yours is common with a lot of other, women.
I'm big on hygiene. I'm big on that. Like the other day, I had this dude chilling. He came over for the first time. He took his shoes off.
Oh shit!
Lit the room.
Oh no!
Up,
fellas, do not go to the chick crib for the first time with your feet stinking and get that comfortable. You can't do that the first time.
But guess what? He was fresh to death. Look like he just went shopping and popped some tags and threw on some feet stinking. I said, what the fuck? I was like, I couldn't believe it. Fresh to death.
Yeah. I had a woman approach me a couple of days ago. She was really trying to find a place to stay. And I kind of knew that. Because don't nobody just walk up on me like that. Some pounds it do. But, I think it was a form of flattery. But then I came back to reality. And I was like, well, it got to be something she want. So I was talking to her. I see that she was loaded. She had been drinking and stuff. So I'm thinking, damn, this could be just some shit to get a quick shot of pussy or some shit like that. But then it's like, you can't be taking advantage of nobody that's fucked up. And then, some people just ain't worth messing with because, if you're if you got a type of person, the people you hang with, like a reputation thing, shit you do in the streets, like if you a person that drink all day and you hang with like just out in the street, you in your abandoned house type of thing every day, and or where you sleep at, or you just hang out in the corner drinking, and your whole association with people is getting high and drunk all day long or whatever else you're doing. That shows because you got people that do that on a different level. They might not just be all bummish with it. You might sit, we sit in front of the crib, we drink, the family get it in. But then it's another thing when you're doing it every day and you on somebody else's porch or abandoned porch and you doing this all day long with others and this is what you do. That becomes into like the whole junk, borderline junkie crackhead type of thing. So if you are, well-to-do guy, some guys mess with those type of people because it's easier. That person, you might be coming into that person's life, you like God. You got weed, you got drink, you got money for the hotel, or you might have your own house or stuff like that. To a person who don't got none of that, they like, so this is why some people don't understand why this man would cheat on this beautiful woman or whatever she got her life together for some so-called tramp in the hood or whatever, or soup kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Because she appreciates him more than the woman who got her shit together. The woman who got her shit together, 9 times out of 10, is aspiring to somebody better than she's already with. Because it become like a challenge. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially when there's some money involved. We see stuff like, what's my man name? Dr. Dre and his wife divorcing him and getting a lot of that money. See, marriage is a business. It's about the money.
That's why you should stay together, because it's till death do us part.
Cheaper to keep it. That's what they say.
The fuck? If I get married, I'm like, you not going nowhere. It's over. It's over.
But
where
that's
you
because
going?
that because you would really be in love with somebody. Like, but see, let's talk about this. What now? This is your personal thing. You're one individual. But what are some of the things that men can do that should do from a woman's perspective? Because you know, been around long enough to know the differences and can talk about what's, just have a conversation with your girlfriends or friends or family, females, about what most women want in men to make them happy in long-term relationships.
We need communication. We need for you to keep it real. A lot of men don't keep it real. That's where we get it fucked up at. Like, where niggas get it fucked up at. They can, if they keep it real with us, it'll be much easier. But men don't keep it real half the time.
Like things like what? Give us an example of not keeping it real.
Like, still being in love with your ex. You know what I'm saying? Some men still be in love with their ex, but move on, be with somebody else, but still, you know what I'm saying? I get that a lot.
All right, this is what he said. Somebody said turn his microphone up. I don't know when he said that. All right, what's up, Kev? That was 19 minutes ago, so he turned it up since then. Shout out to y'all for checking the show out. You know what I mean? Y'all feel welcome to call in with your comments if you feel like it. There's a thing with that, and most cats just don't know what to do. So you got the alpha male and you got your beta males.
Can I ask you something?
What?
Do men want us to need them?
Want us to need them? There's, like I said, there's two different types. There's a yes. That's a two-way question. It's a two-way question because you got those that do it and those that don't.
Okay, right. Okay.
And there is an in between. There's kind of in between because that's part of the game. You got cats that will do enough things for you to want them or admire them, but they want to keep you at a certain distance, so you don't find out about all the other stuff. Maybe the side chick or there's another woman involved. You know what I'm saying? And this, you can have it two different ways. You could be monogamous or you could do your polygamy thing. The way the polygamy thing gonna have to work nowadays is you're gonna have to be real honest and open, and y'all gotta have some type of plan and goal if you're gonna do that, because most people try to do that on some sex tip. Oh, I got two women or whatever. But what if the woman wanted two men? How would you oblige that?
First of all, I'm not.
You might not do that, but that's that. It is women that's like.
I gotta suck four balls.
Some women, that's their fantasy.
The fuck?
Some women like that. That's a fantasy. I ran across some wild women that, did all of that type of stuff.
I know somebody that want two men. That she said she want two men. I said, so you gonna be? She said that she want to sleep with both of them now.
Well, probably not at the same time, but you got this, and that's a pure example. You got a man to pay the bills and one to bring the freak out of you. That the other one, he might be good in these other ways, but he just can't tear it out the frame like this other cat can do. You know what I'm saying? And but this is vice versa, because whatever I say for the women could go for the men too. Because just like I said, tear the frame. You can have a woman who got this, man, and she want to be pleased, but she's just not enough, and he has to go somewhere else and get all that.
But to me, men are never satisfied.
Well,
they always find a reason to do them. Always, you can be perfect. AL, you can be doing everything right, and they'll still find a reason to do some bullshit. I think if a if it seems like if you got a fat ass, you can be busted, disgusted, dirty. If you got a fat ass, you winning.
That's all you need. You know what? You might have a point to that, because I see a lot of women who their character is not like somebody you should be running after. I know women who like get high, smoke crack, boat, and everything, but they got an ass. And you got cats that may not usually mess with a chick like that, but if you don't know, if you just this is how lust gets you in trouble. Like you might, oh man, she got a fat ass, then you go to do it, but you didn't know she been with like 50 other cats that week and dropped you off a package. You know what I'm saying? That you might not be able to get rid of. You know what I'm saying? Because these cats get caught up in the moment. Just, pussy ain't available like you think it is. People try to make like, oh, you could just go get yourself a woman. And that shit don't be like that. It depends on where you live at. Maybe if like you down south, it might be, you could go to the club or the store or, wherever people hanging out and be like, kick your willy bobo. But when you live in places like Jersey, then we got the COVID thing making it worse. People are sexually frustrated. You got people that's married in relationships that are not fucking each other because they scared to catch corona or any other thing, or stuff that happened, or they found out things about each other during the quarantine because you was stuck in the crib. Now you found out of shit. You might have found out that, through going through a person's phone or you seeing all the mannerisms and the attitudes coming out. And it's like, damn, what you mad for? They mad because they can't go get their dick or pussy outside of that circle because they stuck in that circle. And it's frustrating. Like, damn, I got to see you every day. I was already like, fuck you, but I need my bill paid. I need you to go half it. I need you to do for the kids or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to tell you that I got somebody outside of this that do all the other stuff that you can't do. You know what I mean? I don't want to be that dude. As soon as I feel like I'm going to, because I've been there before where paying all the bills and doing all that stuff and, doing miracle stuff, helping, but that's not going to keep her. She's not going to stay because you're doing all that stuff. She'll take all that information and it's some other man to benefit off of it. So you got to kind of
Shit, I'm staying, but you paying all the bills.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but see, we talk about fulfillment. Like you might stay because of that, but then is those obligations that guy might have being fulfilled? You know what I'm saying? And then
if you paying all the bills, I'm doing everything. Whatever you want.
See, there you got one way. You got a way to look at it. There's a person in existence that believes in that. That's cool with that. But you got a lot of women that'll do that, and you can pay all the bills, and they still gonna be with somebody else or have somebody on the side, regardless, because it can get boring. You know what I'm saying? And this is a hardcore stuff that most men got to deal with. So we're gonna run this video. We're gonna be right back with you. Hey, we got that video queued up? Okay. We'll be right back with you. This is what? Relationship advice? Oh, it's them too. Okay. Well, check out what they saying. They coming from a Christian standpoint, which is it's okay. They Jesus Christ. But there's a lot of you out there that's into that. So if that's what you believe, use that to strengthen your relationships. Sometimes you do need God. I think that's the biggest thing. People
you do need God.
Yeah, most people don't have it. All right, roll it, brother. Cut the mic, brother.
Goals, because every relationship should have goals. We see all the time when couples are rich, cute,
popular,
fit, celebrities, they're old and they've been together a long time. People hashtag it as relationship goals.
And we really could preach right there, because I've noticed many times when somebody's been married 35, 40, or even 50 years,
Right.
we immediately applaud. And I'm not saying we shouldn't,
Right.
but I think sometimes we automatically equate years of being together as marital maturity or marital bliss, or
right.
even fulfillment. And I'll never forget one time this elderly lady was married 52 years, and everybody in the church was applauding, everybody was clapping, and I was in high school at the time. And I remember after service, I was like, wow, you've been married 52 years, that's awesome. And she said, what's awesome about it? And I thought she was joking. And she said, no, years together doesn't mean your joy has grown together. And I'll never forget that, because We automatically cheer. We automatically endorse. Wow, they've been together 40 years.
Wow.
But it is possible to be with somebody 40 years and never be fulfilled. Never have purpose with the person. You were with them, but you weren't fulfilled with them. You had somebody that you rolled over to every single morning, but you never got a step closer to destiny, got a step closer to purpose.
Wow.
So I'm not saying next time somebody says they've been married 50 years, don't applaud, but I'm just trying to give you some perspective that years doesn't equate bliss.
Right.
In fact, that's really not a relational goal. Because I don't want to just have years under my belt, but I want to get closer and closer to being all that God created me to be as a husband. And I want her to get closer and closer to being the woman that God has called her to be.
Right.
That is relationship goals.
And y'all know we're Christians.
You know we love Jesus.
Okay, we love Jesus.
You know this.
So the first relationship goal is you gotta know the king. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You gotta know the king.
Why?
Because when you know the king, you'll discover that you're royalty.
But if you don't know the king, you won't know that you're royalty. Because without knowing the king, you don't even know how valuable and how much worth you really have. Maybe this is why you keep giving out discounts, because you don't even know how valuable you really are.
Maybe you keep crying over that downgrade that left is because you don't know your worth. It's on a kingdom level.
When you're on a kingdom level, you recognize that you constantly upgrading. This is why it's dangerous for you to try to entertain anything that somebody tries to bring you about your past. Baby, that is outdated information. I'm not the same person I was 6 weeks. I'm sorry to preach on this webisode. The king upgrades you, and knowing who he is makes it to where you know who you are, so you won't entertain or respond to what you're not. First relationship goal is you gotta know the king.
And you crying over a downgrade that left, and Jesus is probably like, baby girl, I'm trying to get you on that kingdom upgrade. Okay.
I'm trying to bring a kingdom upgrade in your life. And you tripping over a downgrade, you can never reach your upward calling as long as you hold on to your downward craving.
I'm trying to introduce you to my joy. I'm trying to introduce you to my peace.
Preach.
I'm trying to introduce you to my love.
Come on.
Because until you have an encounter with me, you're going to keep selecting ladies and dudes outside of the kingdom.
And anytime you go outside of obeying God to get something, you have to stay outside to keep what you got. So maybe what God is trying to introduce to us is, I didn't call you to be culture. I called you to be kingdom. I didn't call you to follow the culture's trends. I called you to be a trendsetter. Because see, their goals anybody can reach, but my goals only I can give. Only I can give you significance. Only I can give you value. Only I can give you identity. When they're old, they can't make hits anymore. Their significance is gone. But with me, you're eternally favored, and favor gets you places that hustling can't. First relationship goals, you gotta know the king.
Secondly, stay in the kingdom.
Please.
Kingdom work collides you with kingdom partners because you can't be found by that kingdom man twerking in the club. I'm sorry.
Sliding on that pole.
You ain't gonna be able to do it.
We talked about this so many times. Everybody always highlights the Ruth and Boaz story, but nobody wants to pay attention that Ruth was in the field.
Right.
And Boaz owned the field. That's a whole nother webisode. Why are you even chasing her? You don't even have a table. They always say, bring something to the table. This dude don't even have a table. He said it's mama's table.
Right.
That's a whole nother webisode. Ruth was in the field. Boaz owned the field. Our main point, you get discovered in the mission field.
Yes.
If you're in the wasteland, no wonder you keep attracting trash. No wonder you keep attracting dogs. Dogs like to rip open trash. Maybe the reason sometimes we're not being discovered is because we're not in the right place. Please, this will preach. You have to be in the right place to get the right miracle.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you have to position yourself. We see this in the text with the woman with the issue of blood. She had an issue and she had to find the place where Jesus was to heal her issue. Are you willing to relocate from the wasteland to get in the place where Jesus is so that you could tap into your relationship goals?
These should be relationship goals. Can we worship together? Can we crack open the word and read together? Do devotion together? Can you go to church with one another? Or is he falling asleep or she falling asleep or rolling her eyes like when we about to go? Can we pray together? When my daughter was sick and she was up to almost 104 fever, my husband was like, let's pray. And immediately After we prayed, her fever was gone. And that's the type
That's
of
not
goal.
a lie either. That's true. That really happened.
Yeah.
That really happened.
Yeah. And that's the type of goals that you need to have for your relationship. Not superficial goals that you see on TV because two people look cute together.
Can we do life together?
Right.
Can we have a marriage that the people will say, I want a marriage like brother and sister so-and-so?
Right. Because they have fruit.
Can your marriage be a platform where Jesus could stand on and inspire other couples and let them know that it's possible to be young or possible to be middle-aged or even elder and have a God-endorsed, beautiful marriage? It is possible to have a powerful union. It doesn't have to look like Love and Hip Hop. It doesn't have to look like Scandal. That is relationship goals. There's power in a couple that can fight together. They're not just a power couple. They're an empowered couple. There's power in a couple that can praise together, because many times when you unlock your praise unlocks you. That's when it's kingdom. When it's kingdom, it builds, develops skills, and fulfills. It goes the same for brothers as well.
Yeah.
Maybe if she doesn't represent you well, you could be trying to put a crown on a woman that's not royalty. And you need to stay in the kingdom and put a crown on a woman who is royalty.
Yes.
You have to always say, that's too low. Pull that up. That's too tight. So we just wanted to give a little perspective on what relationship goals really is.
Yeah, what it looks like.
Especially via the kingdom. So this is Redefine TV.
Where we're redefining relationships righteously.
Okay. That guy has a real good point. Real good point. You know, we value him on the iPad, brother. Yeah. Dude had a real good point. I think most relationships fail because there is no type of spiritualism in it. No belief in the creator, God, or anything like that. 9 times out of 10, it's mostly, you know, oh, we fucking, you got my requirements, she got the banging booty, he got some money, but there's no God there. That conversation don't even come up. Most people like church or anything, church, the mosque, going to a rally, a 5% of God's earth rally, anything.
I really believe in pray together, stay together.
And
I really
you're
believe
right. And you got to think, even for me, the last few relationships I've been in, ain't been none of that. It's just been like more sexual and, you know, financial or trying to, you know, the talk part and stuff like that. But I only had that with a few people.
And the person that loves God and truly loves God treats you like a queen. You know what I'm saying? They really,
Yeah,
I believe
men love a woman that can open up his spirituality, to have them type of conversations, because that does, like the guy said, that puts you in a different category. Like this term was the kingdom. I understood what he was saying just in regular terms, for us, like you don't go looking for diamonds in trash. Because somebody threw away a diamond watch. So to say is, you don't go to wild areas where the women is known to be loose to think that she's going to be exclusive to you. Same thing with the women. This works both ways. There's men that can have such a low self-esteem that they think they can't never be the premier person in their life that they would want to be. You know, if you want to be on your Mac and thing, I recommend that every man experience that before you die. Get your Mac on at some type of point. Look, that's to keep you from getting played. Or when you do find out if you are, it don't hurt so bad. You ain't around here crying, or you don't want to go shoot yourself. You're able to go deal with it, because the depression sets in where you could be in love with this person, but if they got somebody else, you might be thinking, well, you fall short. No, you just don't do it for that person. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to be your fault. You might just deal with them on a certain level, but there's something else that they don't even have to tell you about that needs to be fulfilled. You got people that got a freak on them. They might like want some multiple partners and all at one time, but you might not be able to bring that out in them. And I've seen that. Like, you know, I done seen women, or, you know, from having parties and stuff like that, women that come and do wild, like, you know, the one night stands. They might got a nigga a crib at, you know, nigga kids at home, but she wilding out and doing all the wild porno shit that he can't even get. He paying all the bills, doing whatever he doing, and she just came out for a couple hours and wilded out and came home. You won't even know shit. But I seen more of that on the female tip than dudes. Dudes ain't as good as sneaky about hiding shit. Most dudes get caught at some point, and the women, if you in a committed relationship
y'all don't
with the
give
guy,
a fuck.
yeah,
Y'all don't,
yeah.
9 out of 10, y'all don't give a fuck.
I mean, you could give a fuck, but just be sloppy. Cause cats don't do the FBI
That's
work.
not giving a fuck.
They don't. I mean, that's sometimes it's just sheer like neglect. Like you can give a fuck, but not know what to give a fuck about. You know what I'm saying?
Like what?
Like, say, if you, well, I'm gonna just go back to what I'm saying. If you don't know what she's doing or what he's doing, you could, like, she could be keeping tabs on you. You don't even know. They got cloning stuff. They can see everything in your phone, but you might not be the type of person that's up on that, or even think that he or she is doing that. And you might just have a regular conversation, just could a contact with another opposite sex or whatever, or just another person, and it offends the other person. Simple as that, because that person ain't know about it, but it could have been a private conversation, or somebody you just kick it with, and it's the feeling with the infidelity, but that's for married people. For people in relationships, it's just you don't want to feel that your mate or whoever you sleeping with is spreading themselves to somebody else. But if you want that, you have to be the person. That's extra hard work. It's one thing, like for the men, I'm just saying for the men, it's one thing, because I know a lot of us be wanting to do the multiple woman thing, but it'd be hard to just deal with one. And a lot of times we do that because we don't want to deal with all the shit.
My friend
Can't do it.
My friend, I ain't gonna say his name
Yeah.
because one of my friends asked to marry me a couple weeks ago, right? Mind you, he dated a couple of my friends. How am I going to now?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say I wouldn't be happy with him because we're compatible, but you done messed with so many of my friends. What makes you think?
Yeah, that's going to kind of
That
how
I'm
you
going-
live that down. Because you will always have to worry about him going back and screwing your friends behind your back. Like, what's the trust? I think the biggest thing is the trust thing. Even when you,
Well, my thing
but
is-
then that's a respect matter. That's a whole
Why would
principle.
you even want to do that?
Well,
Why
cats will do whatever you allow them. Because you'll be surprised. It's like walking up to a woman and saying, hey, you want to fuck? You might get slapped in my lot, but you might find that one and be like, yeah, let's go. Because I've seen that. I've seen cats do that. Like, just straight like that. No sugarcoat. Hey, you want to fuck? Boom. Some people like that, yo. Like all that conversation. Things is getting simplified now, as you can see. All the romance is out the window. Maybe some people might do that. Just like with you. A guy asks you to marry you. Not around you every day.
He lives in Atlanta. He want me to come to Atlanta.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
you'll be good. I'll take care of you.
But see, that's that beta male shit. That's cool if that's what you want. But that guy,
not when you slept with most of my friends.
That's the whole thing. And then once you get in that situation, cat gonna want control. Who pays all the bills and gives the woman control and you paying all the bills? No, most men want, that's the reason why they do all that, to have that authority. And if you're not a woman that's going, be it as beckon and call and all that shit, this shit ain't gonna work.
And then I got some in that want kids. Like I'm done having kids.
Yeah, like you done ran your course. You got grown kids
Yeah,
now.
my
To
daughter
go
is
to
about to
do
be
that all
19.
over again, you would have to be very comfortable. You need a couple million, something like that. Or probably more, whatever your preference is. But I would imagine you would need a cat with a lot of money to make that lofty. That whole experience ain't no struggle.
For real.
But the thing is, the complication with older, when pregnancies when you older and stuff. Because if you are out and about person and you like getting stuff done, that's gonna slow you down. You to a degree. I mean, some people can still work and get stuff done, but it's after a while you don't want to be doing too much. You know what I'm saying? When you're pregnant like that at an older age. When you're young, okay, you go ahead and do some flips and whatever. But when you older, you got to be extra careful, yo, because it's a different thing. Your body done changed. So when we see this, with older women, older pregnancies, then the fact that when the kid's a certain age, you might be too old to even play with them. If you had some right now, you'd be in the 50s. By the time they're 10 or 11 and 12 or 15, you'd be at 50 hitting 60. You ain't trying. That might be a little activity, but you know. And shout out to the grandmas who hold it down.
Yeah.
Because you know, if it wasn't for
Right.
grandmas, I want to say grandpas too, but you know, it's just the whole man thing. We getting decimated, yo. For real, masculine manhood is being decimated. A lot of our women don't even want real men. They want pretty dudes. A lot of them. I'm saying it. They want, man ain't really supposed to be pretty, but this is the agenda. This is why we got so many
He gotta
emotional.
be pretty, but he gotta look like something. I gotta
mean,
be able to wake up to that nigga.
I mean, that's like, I'm gonna take that like, cause on the other shoe, you know, you got women that's not so attractive, but she might could still get dudes she mess with. You know what I'm saying? I guess like people are people. You never know what a person is capable of or what's their strengths. Some people, you know, you could run across somebody. Like they say, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. What you view as ugly, somebody else might view as handsome or whatever. Cause I don't think I'm, you know, one of those. You know, I know I'm kind of crazy. I don't know mine. Cause I'm an African man. I ain't supposed to be pretty. I ain't trying to be pretty.
I'm saying you can be groomed though. Like,
I mean,
we
like, what
that.
I say, like, when I say pretty, we talk about the whole industry type cast, you know, with the whole niggas arching their eyebrows and doing, you know, a lot of feminine stuff, hygiene wise, and, you know, what they call it, some of that stuff is good, like
Like I
skincare
love for a
products
man
and
to
stuff. But
smell good, his skin be shining, his clothes be crisp, his car be clean. Oh man, it's just something about a man that's so clean. I love it. I love it.
well, I think the average woman loves that. But then we got we got a culture that don't give a fuck about none of that shit. It's all about the money. Like, when I speak this, I know this goes out on the radio, you know, regardless of the Facebook. This goes out to the radio to God knows where. And we don't know who's listening in what country or whatever. But I know people look at us like, you know, in the other countries look at us like, man, we crazy. And
Why you say that?
because our relationship's mostly based off of cockamamie shit. There's really there's really not based off of spiritualism, most of it. Like, unless you a church person or you Muslim or something like that, you might go to the mosque because their customs and rules are so hard. Like in the Muslim faith, if you want to date a Muslim woman, you get chaperoned for like 6 months by an elder Muslim brother. Like, you ain't no sex on the first date. They gonna make sure of that. And you could be grown. It's like, you know what I mean? You could get chaperoned like a little kid. So the pickings is just not there no more. And when you decide to get something special, you being watched over like a little kid. Man, that's a big thing that a lot of cats is looking for love. I know it. Like, I take a little walk, you know, shoot over to the weed man spot, so I walk and see shit, and, you know, I get a little information and stuff, get in the hood. Most of the relationships is not taken seriously. Everybody got somebody else, bro. Not everybody, but a lot of people. That you'll be lucky to find somebody that's just about you. And if you do find that person, 9 times out of 10, there's going to be a flaw that you're going to have to accept. Some type of flaw to be like, you know, you good in this area, then that outweighs that. Because we never get nobody perfect that we want, like,
Word is a lot.
like, you
I
know.
thought I had the perfect guy. Then you know what this nigga told me? He don't celebrate holidays. So that mean I ain't getting nothing for Christmas,
Well, that don't necessarily
Valentine's
mean
Day.
that don't really, you could get it, but what if he buying stuff in between? You ain't missing it.
Dog, I want something on Valentine's Day. For real. Christmas. My birthday. Like, come on. For real. You don't celebrate nothing?
Really, was
No,
the
you don't
Jehovah's
celebrate
Witness?
No, I don't know what you talking about. It's pagan holidays and all this
Pagan
extra shit,
holidays,
pagan
yeah,
holidays.
yeah.
Listen, I want a gift, nigga.
Like, fuck it.
What are you talking about? Cause
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you a gift, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, see, we got a lot of men who we got a lot of men who just not able to. A lot of times they just become.
It wasn't that it wasn't that he ain't have no money. Cause the nigga was in Gucci and Fendi and Prada and gold. The fuck? But for you not to celebrate no holiday, nigga, I was like, damn. But
No, there's a lot of people like that. There's a culture for that now.
So for Valentine's Day, he gave me this whole speech. Do you know the history of Valentine?
Yeah. So that go to show you that, like, we'll be thinking that because we know some information that we'll be happy to teach a woman that, but really,
we don't give a fuck about none of that.
They don't want to hear that.
I don't give a fuck about what he did. I want a gift.
Yep. And anything against that, that's what it's all about, fellas. You heard it. They don't want to hear that. They don't give a fuck about Satan. And
you ain't doing nothing but making me mad, telling me that story.
That's just what it is. Is it? So it's like, you know, it is to the point where it's the material thing. You got to be with that to a degree. Like,
I'm just saying, it's nice. It's just nice to get gifts. Like, get a gift sometimes. Like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, looks like things have changed because of the COVID thing. You can't celebrate holidays like it used to because they shut down all the festivals, New Year's, everything on TV or with the Zoom meetings or whatever. You know, virtual meetings and all this type of stuff. The basketball, the football it's corny. Some of the action may be good, but the looking cardboard cutout crowds, like that was the dating spot. Those basketball games and football games are major dating activities. Like, oh, you got some tickets to the game? You take your girl or you know whoever you with. You know what I'm saying? Now you don't have that. Like, even with the movies, like, they supposed to be opening back up, but it ain't the same. Like, there's not a thing where the social thing is being cut down. You know, whether you social distance or not, but the social thing, like, you might have been there with your couple and you might have had, you know, met another couple just on some fly, but now they got you so distant, ain't no communication. So you just off to yourself. Do you know there are people who committed suicide because of social distancing? There's a lot of people that committed suicide out of loneliness. For real. Since this been what, 5 months into it now? A lot of people, I'm talking about thousands of people off themselves recently. Out of loneliness, the disconnect in the house, you know, don't touch me, get away from me, over this, Some people can't deal with that. You got children that want to be hugged by their mothers and fathers. You got fathers that ain't touching their kids. No, you stay over there. Wear the mask. Y'all destroying y'all families with that shit for something that you seen on TV. You've seen nobody die from that in their home. It's only when you get to the hospital, but y'all just go with the flow and do whatever you told. You're destroying your family. And this is universal. This for white people, black people, and everybody in motherfucker between. You're destroying your families, reading too much TV instead of dealing with the reality that you're already in. You know, if you see people around you dropping dead, then you should be concerned. But if it ain't the case, you know, don't alienate in your own household. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ain't got them problems, like, because people will sneeze now.
And people look at them like they crazy.
Yeah, just off
they don't even say God bless you no more.
Yeah, a cough. Even with the weed thing, nobody shares blunts no more.
Can I get a God bless you?
Yeah, nobody shares blunts no more. Everybody got their own blunt now. You know, some people still do that, but I'm just saying, like, it's so much separation. But it has its good thing. Maybe wearing a mask in the supermarket to cut down on airborne germs, period. You know what I'm saying? Other than the COVID thing, because if it was the real COVID thing, the mask ain't really gonna stop that. You know, but it could stop like a cold. Like if you got the sniffles or something, you sneezing, that it'll help me like that. I put the mask on and it stopped the sniffles for whatever I was breathing, and I could get it together or move away from that area or whatever. And that could be just allergies or,
right.
You know, you about to catch a cold or, you know, flu season come around. The weather's changing. It's getting cold again. So you had to deal with that. on the relationship tip, this is a time where people are looking for a place to stay. And look, when you got your own place,
I'm tired of niggas living with me.
somebody gonna come knock on the door. But you wanna go live with somebody else?
Yeah, let me come over and live with you sometime. Let me.
Well, you gotta find somebody that got their own. Yeah.
They do. Some of them be having their own shit, but I don't.
But the thing is, when you do find one, and
They
I'm gonna keep
be
it gangster
pieces
with you.
of shit.
I mean, yeah, but you got cats that if they got all of this stuff, they might be sharing it with somebody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you're never really the only person. As soon as you leave it, especially if there's no commitment, if you just you might be interested, but if you never say, "Hey, I'm trying to start something committed with you," if that never came out your mouth, but you just sex and chilling, whatever. Because some people just assume that off of certain things that happen. They just don't never say it, but they just assume it like, well, we did this, we had this intimate moment. He's into me, but he in his mind, yeah, I knocked that off. I'm over here to the, you know what I mean?
We do. You're right. We do that a lot. We do that a lot.
And then it works both ways. That works both ways.
I can admit doing that.
I've been there before, like
because I feel like when I get nasty with you in the bedroom, I feel like you're my man. Like we ain't have to talk about it.
But
like
you ain't talk
mine.
about it, but you need to talk about it.
Nigga, first of all, if I'm giving you oral sex, you're my man.
But see, you nowadays that has to be verified by saying something because there's so many other women that'll do that as just because. There didn't have to be any emotional connection or any type of connection. They would just do that because they might what they like to do. But in your lifestyle, you like, look, if I do that to you, this is why
if I get nasty,
because I don't
like
do
you
shit
and
like
I feel like we in a
that.
relationship.
Because you don't know, like
I feel that comfortable.
You don't always play to the sexual thing. You do that here and there, but then you got dressed where you cover up. You know, for whatever the occasion is. And you might not be showing that all the time, but then you got women that straight bout that all day long. Like, all right, I'm going to suck that nigga balls, whatever the nigga want. For less than what you're asking for. And then they like a prostitute situation, that what you're asking for could be your time. You know, just your conversation, you know, stuff like that, which is still boiled down to your time. And we got a lot of unhappy people, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even happy with my shit. Now, I be wanting to be open with, you know, things, but then you got to consider the other person, and I be liking to have the, you know, give their side of the story. But in my case, that's probably not going to happen. So I'll just have to, like, because this is therapy for me, too. Shit. This ain't just for y'all. Shit, I be, you know, dealing with stuff, helping other people with their relationships. And my shit is like, you know, at least I got something to deal with. But sometimes it's better to be alone than be frustrated. Like you could be wasting time going nowhere or miss opportunity with somebody that is for you because you stuck in this pointless relationship with this person, and they're just trying to hold on to you just to say they got somebody. But there's nothing going on.
Right.
No real conversation, no connection, no sex, none of that shit. It's just, you know, a little chop it up here and there or whatever, and you might tell each other you love each other every once in a while. And that's what happened in a lot of these long-distance relationships. You could be living with somebody and it be like that. You know how it's more sexless marriages than there are sex marriages. That's the number one cause for the divorce and all that stuff. People get too comfortable with each other, seeing each other every day, might let each other go. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let yourself go to the point where, you know, if you got that man with abs, now he chilling, so I got you now. Now he getting fat.
I have a male friend that's married, and he like me, but I won't mess with him because he's married. You know what I mean? But he told me him and his wife only has sex once a month.
You better believe that's real shit.
I said once a month. He said yeah.
It's hard to believe, but yeah. Listen, like I said, the majority of people in marriages deal with that.
And
because now she got you, she don't have to put out. And then
he's not even satisfied when she do give it to him.
That's right.
I said, so where do your wife sleep in at night? He said the biggest thing she can find, the biggest T-shirt, the biggest pant. Like, if I'm
Yeah.
married, I'm wanting to satisfy my husband. Like, he's want to be satisfied every
Doesn't
night.
it seem like the people who really would do a good job in those type of situations have more difficulty finding those situations that would make you happy? Like, you might be happy in a marriage like that, but it's hard for you to find. Like, but the opposite person of you or friends or family has everything you may want, but they don't even give a fuck about that shit. But they got plenty of it coming their way, but they don't even care. See, there's a science behind it. It's the game. Some people, now the hard part about being like, if you got a lot of alpha males, those guys don't really have a chance. You don't get any emotion. There's no reward for anything you're doing. Only reward you getting is some pussy, and he knows that. You might get some couple extra perks or some shit like that, but to a real man who got his own stuff, all a woman could do for him is that. That would be your connection, unless she has some type of intellectual thing, teach you something or something like that. That's cool.
Do men get scared when the relationship is going perfect? Like, it's too good to be true?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
I hate that.
Yeah, because
That always
from
happens
my
to me.
perspective, when that happens, when things that seem like they're going too good, we could feel like we being played. That's the
I
moment when you
hate
feel
that.
like you're being
That's
played.
crazy.
Well,
That's what always
because
happens
you know
to me.
why? You know why? We got the Facebook. We got all these things that throws out the idea that your partner is cheating. That there's no way you're going to have. Why should you have a faithful partner where everybody else getting cheated on? This is the big thing. And a lot of people don't want to have that conversation with their mates about, like, the trust thing is a big thing, because if you don't have self-love and your partner sees that you don't have self-love, then yeah, there's a possibility that person is going to cheat on you. Either way, you can have it or not, and you always have to be prepared for it. There's like for most men that's aware, that's why some women prefer men who's not so playerish, more naive, a working man that just do that. And there ain't nothing wrong with that, because they play their purpose. But if you're just for paying bills and your sex or whatever you're doing is just subpar, then yes, your partner will keep you for that convenience, but it's gonna be something else as soon as you turn your back. See, the thing is, most people are already in these situations, but they're dealing with somebody who's so slick and lies so good that you couldn't even imagine it, that this is going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the other part. Like, what people don't want to, and that is a bothersome thing. Like, I've been told, I ain't cheating, I just working all the time. But it's hard for a person to believe it. Women want sex just as much as the man do. And time goes past, and you don't see this person, you don't hear from this person like that, like you used to. Somebody getting that time, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's somebody at the job or somebody's getting that conversation, that person's venting to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? There's no such thing as you just alone, unless you in a atmosphere like that. You in the woods somewhere. But if you in civilization, you going to work every day, you talking to somebody. Just, you're not telling the other person. Some people just more good at that. And they may not even have to be sexing the person, but they have somebody to talk to. That's all. That other stuff is optional. And that's, for the men, I'm just telling you, that's what you got to deal with. You can't believe that you just the only one. This shit don't work like that, yo. Because you not. None of us are really the only one. You could think that dumb shit all you want to, and that's probably somebody.
It is some women out here that are faithful, though. Because I was faithful for 8 years straight. I didn't cheat.
But see, what you mean sexually cheat? You might not sexually cheated, but you had male friends that you.
I wasn't allowed to have male friends.
I don't know, but maybe you were just one of them that was submissive like that. Like,
I was in love,
but
and I
you
ain't
was
want
in
nobody
love.
else.
But what was it about that cat that made you like that?
He was everything I wanted. He was everything.
Alpha male, right? He was on the alpha male tip, right?
Mm-hmm.
Break, wild out, G'd up, right? G'd up. Well, you
G'd
know,
up, but
when I say gangster,
no, not really.
not really.
Mm-mm.
So there wasn't none of that.
Not really. He wasn't really gangster.
But that
he
wasn't
was
like a
masculine.
requirement to make you fall for him.
He just, he looked good as hell. Okay, he was the bomb. He looked good. He did music. I liked that, and we spent the time we spent together. It was perfect. Like it was I made him my baby. He was my baby dad.
Word.
So,
But that's your phone.
and I was with him for 13 years. And hold on.
Or you take a call. This a call in. They
No,
don't,
this
they,
ain't no
don't, they,
call.
they don't say no wild stuff on the air. Like, "Ah, ah, ah, ah."
Yeah, I'm on a radio show right now. I'm gonna call you as soon as I get off. All right.
See? You big pimpin'. Let me stop with the mess, but y'all know who that guy is. I'm just fucking with you. I'm fucking shit up. You might be watching like big pimpin'. So you know she was pimping like that? Yeah, nigga. That's the game. Everybody want to feel like they the only one, but bruh, sometimes even if that is the case,
If I'm
you
into
shouldn't
you,
feel so comfortable.
If I'm into you, I don't want nobody else. I
Yeah,
don't
but
feel
but
the
you
need
can
to
lose
have
that.
two people.
Yeah, but see how many times where you might have been feeling the cat, but then you got turned off by something after a while. Because
Yeah.
that does happen. Like, you could be all into a person, but that don't mean you're going to feel like that every day.
Mm-hmm.
It could be one conversation or one word that cat said that fucked that whole shit up. Now you just,
Yeah, like with the
know.
no fucking Valentine's Day, that shit turned me off. I was like,
Yeah, because
so
that
you
was
mean
like a major
holidays?
dating thing for you? Like a major,
I
like a
thought
part
me
of
and
the time of the
him
year?
was building to be together.
Oh, you talking about
forever.
that guy that didn't like to celebrate the holidays?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, I guess, see, I used to think that when we learned this stuff that, we could teach our women and we might feel more valuable to them because we feel like we're saving you from something or building with you about the truth. When in reality, that's the stuff that you're taking away that actually makes them happy. The holidays and the Thanksgiving and all the type of stuff
Like,
that
we look forward to holidays with our mate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's because a lot of times because there's so much fakeness involved with that, like especially during Christmas time. You get the gifts and all that type of stuff, but after that day's over, do you feel the same way about the person you just did all this stuff for? That's the thing. You know what I mean? It's all because it's about that money. Like what do poor people do for the holidays?
Appreciate the little things.
In my town, poor people was at the soup kitchen. They might get a free turkey or something. They got turkey giveaways and stuff. You might get a free turkey, get somewhere, cooking stuff. But after that day's over, you go back to your regular lifestyle. And I think that's what a lot of guys are just into. Everybody ain't like that. You just got to, it's when the person says you have to find, that word find becomes like, yo, what you mean find? Like you got time to really be looking for somebody.
And then like one guy, he says all the right stuff, but then I look on his Instagram, he got big booty holes. Like everything is sexual with him on, but he queens me and this and that, and I will do it. He said, but really on some freak shit. So really, I be feeling like he just want to fuck. Like you just saying all this queen shit and this and that.
All dudes want to do is fuck. I don't. Any dudes. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna keep it gangster with you on this show, and all the other women listening. Dudes want to fuck. All that other shit is bullshit. Dudes ain't no other reason to be talking to you.
That's crazy.
I mean, if a man ain't trying to get that from you, unless you in some type of business agreement or something you're working with or your job or, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. What are you talking about? Because it's a lot of stuff like, all right, you can have female friends, and that's cool to have female friends, but I'm going to tell you, most dudes want to fuck their friends, man. I'm not going to pull no punches, man. I'm saying the shit that motherfuckers don't want to say or just can't. You know what I'm saying? And there's women that feel like that too, but it's too unladylike to be like that. That's why you got so many wild women now that's more blunt about what they want in life. You got women got a man and a woman. And she open about it. She tell you, well, I got a woman too. You know, you can get involved, but or you just stay over here with it, off their own terms. And I'm running across people like that. That say that's living like that. Like they're like women pimps. That's the hardest thing for most men to deal with, when a woman is more in authoritative position over other women than you are. She can get this out of this woman, but you can't even get the time of day. You got some women that are so fine, but they only talk to other women. They will even look a man way. They don't care how big your dick is, how much money you got, because she can get that in another woman plus that. She could get that from another bad chick with all these dudes giving her hundreds of millions of dollars just for being pretty, but she sleep with this woman. She don't need your money. She could get it from some other girl. See, that changes the dynamic because we have so many women that's doing that now. And what I hear is they say it's not a lot of men, which is true. It's like because a lot of cats locked up, and then you got the other half that's just gay. And then that leaves slim pickings, like the dude you might like. If you do find them 9 times out of 10, you're going to share them with a few other people because they want them too. And once a woman, and you know this too, once a woman wants you, you can't make her unwant you. You could do some fucked up shit, smack her up, shoot her, but motherfucker in love could do all of that shit and still be with you. And I done seen some crazy stuff. So people, you know, when you love you be in relationships that might be toxic for you, but it feel good in other ways. So I try not to be judgmental and stuff because you never know where you're going to find your happiness.
You been in love before?
Yeah, but most of the time it's like when I do get them feelings, I try to back out of them now because those experiences wasn't like a positive outcome for me. So now I'm more on like guarding the emotions and all that type of stuff because men not really supposed to be emotional. Women may say they want you to be emotional, but they're just waiting for you to do some pussy move and then it's over for you. You might just be getting smiled in your face all day. You might get some occasional coochie or something, but she's done with you. She off to the next nigga in your face. I know that part of the game. And that was always the hardest part to deal with, when you got somebody that'll still fuck with you, but they don't care about you, but you in love. But you doing all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? You could do stuff special for them that no other man to do, but she not for you. That's not for you. Like, you can buy the world, spend all this money, doing it, whatever. But another man who's done none of that could get more favor out of her than he can. We have to deal with that sometimes, man. Most of us deal off of ego. You know what I'm saying? And pride. That's what the dress up for. What you think the nice car and all that shit for? Niggas don't do that shit for themselves. Niggas, that's bullshit. I just carried it because I just... No, nigga walk around in sweatpants all day if that's what y'all like. Niggas only do that shit. And then nigga tell you something different, he's selling you a bunch of crock of shit. Because when ain't no women around, niggas ain't doing that shit all day. You just dirtying up your shit for nothing. I don't give a fuck how much money you got. The average dude ain't doing that. Even drug kingpins, they put on some regular shit. They don't want to have to go through cleaning their shit just because they wore it wasn't no occasion or whatever. Unless you just got a bunch of shit. But even a person with money know that there's certain things that can't be replaced. So you take care of your shit. Especially if you're a guy that spends a lot of money on certain clothes and shoes and stuff like that. Stuff don't be like, you might go to the store and get this, but that don't mean they got that same shoe or that same shirt in stock when you go back. They might have just had that and that was it. And whatever you got. You're going to have to find it somewhere else, you know. Stuff like that. And it's the same principle, like I said, that in your relationship. You may not be able to find what you want, but find something that's good for you. Now, how do you know that's something good for you? That person want to be bothered with you. They calling you and all that stuff. Once the call stop, the attention stop, it's over, bro. It's over. It's over. Like, once like, if you had a woman that was calling you every day when you first got up, you know, when y'all first started, and, you know, you didn't have to call that much. They always called you to lead the conversation. Once that stops and go in a different direction, something else has happened. You know what I'm saying? Once you don't have them conversations no more, or, you know, you're not able to communicate, or you're not being able to get any effective response from your mate, then the shit is over. You could just still be talking, but you're not going to be fulfilled. And you know, we at an age where the most frustrating part in your 40s and 50s and 60s is starting all over. And the hardcore truth, and I like to deal with the truth, but at the same time, the truth, everybody don't like that. I learned that women live in fantasies more. They don't like reality. You have to cater to the fantasy. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes the fantasy becomes real. Or looking for that, we can't please you. So this is what men have to realize too. You can't please no woman like that. You know, you gotta kind of you know just deal with what you gonna get, cause you can't please them all. And you sit right next to me, right? You might have some cats that you might have been submissive to, but it might not fulfill all your needs. It might be just something that's missing. It's just the majority of stuff may have been met, but there's other things that you know you wish was there. You know, all right, for things like he might got the body, like he got the dick size, but he ain't got the car, ain't got the house.
Right.
Or you might have a car in the house, but you don't got the body, you don't got the dick size, or the money. You know, just different. You might have the money, but missing other personalities. You might not know how to talk. You got a lot of money, but your conversation's fucked.
Right.
Like you know, I talk about some bullshit. It's like all that stuff that then you got to kind of rate the pros and cons. Well. And this would usually happen while people end up in these dating relationships because they like after you get old, you don't want to be alone. You'll settle for what you can get because the truth is, you know, you can't go out there and get nobody just like that. And even if you could, the pickings is slim after you get older. And it ain't like you can go back and deal with the young crowd. That's like, man, like I'm 45. To try to mess with somebody like 23 or some shit like that, what are you gonna talk about? Like that whole
some dude
dynamic.
19 hit me in my inbox. 19.
Well,
I said,
you got some cougars
boy,
out
that
here.
I got a daughter your age that
Yeah,
you
but
probably know.
But
The fuck?
you just got morals about your situation, which is cool. But there are a lot of women that like them young dudes because of the energy.
That's
Like
too much with they ass.
yeah, because like most of the guys that get older, man, you're not getting that. You know, you might not be all that sexual active like you was when you was 20. Them cats, you know, you got cats that want to do whole school days, 6 to 8 hours. And it may take a couple breaks, you know what I'm saying, but still want that much. And but when you get certain age, some of that stuff become impossible. Women can take a lot of sex because you know y'all the receiver, but men. Bro, you go unless you one of them dudes that just master your workout or whatever, you know. Even it's not even that because I know a lot of workup dudes that they thing don't work out like that because the women in their lives talk about it. Yeah, he can do all them push-ups and dips, but he ain't fucking shit because he be too tired. Maybe too tired of using all of that. By the time it come to that, boom, you have issues. That then you might go get a guy that's lesser, but he has his sex drive intact. He can give her all that stuff that she want to. So it's the game, man. Like I hate to tell you, man, most of us are not going to have that happiness that you've been taught on TV or these love songs you've been listening to. It's just not going to happen for a lot of us, and we're setting ourselves up for failure and you know long-term misery over the years. You got to switch it around and start being like vocal about what you want and then actually try to shape that. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want a certain type of woman, if you might want a freak, but because you too ashamed or don't got the heart to say that, you're gonna go get a good woman or a woman who's not that promiscuous, and deep back in your mind you still want this freak. You're not doing her no good. Because deep you got enough to get her, she's thinking, well, I'm good enough, but deep in your mind, deep in his mind, it's not good enough. So eventually, he's gonna get what he want. And if you know you can cheat on the wrong person, and she might just like go ballistic. That's why you have people bust your windows out, set your car on fire, shoot at you, go get some other niggas, beat you up. That's how that stuff happens. You know what I mean? Because you thought you was the only one and you wasn't. You should stop thinking that. Now when I get in relationships, I don't even think that. Or whoever, you know, when I'm dealing with, I don't
But
even
that's
think that.
I think you like that because you've been a side piece before, so that's probably why you're like that.
Not before, many times. Many times. Like I used to have them parties at my crib and all that stuff. And when you're a person that throw parties and, you know, having the houses, I learned that women like niggas with houses. You know, if you got a decent
They
house,
own
that's the
shit, period.
that's the hangout spot.
If you got
the
your own
getaway
shit,
spot.
period, we fucking love it. Have your own money, have a car, have your own spot. What? That shit, because men don't be having shit sometimes. For real, men don't be having shit.
Yeah, I mean,
They be dependent on the woman all the time. They drive the woman car, live at the woman house. Like, you get tired of that.
yeah, well, you know, it be like that. I mean, I'm just trying to stick up for the fellas, but then you know you got that element too. You know, you got your players out there that do it the wrong way and, you know, break hearts and got everybody thinking they in, you know, got their woman thinking they in love and all that stuff. Because you got some cats with some hellified game. A lot of, you know, some great liars. And that's all it is. Game is you good at lying. You good at deflection, lying, deceiving, and you might get what you want, but the lies usually end up in some type of explosion because the truth has a way of coming out. And it's beyond your control sometimes. Like, you could be the best liar, but something else happened. Because truth going to come out eventually regardless. Especially, that's the time we living in. Like, you can do the best diversion and all that, but it might be something outside of yourself that said, okay, I'm going to reveal this. Something you couldn't even help. And that thing that you were hiding got revealed. So it's best to just be open. You know what I mean? Be open about what your intentions is, what you plan to do with this person. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to, you know, if you just want to screw, make that be known. If you want a relationship, make that be known. But you got to, with the relationship thing, you got to kind of go through levels because that ain't so easy to come past, especially when you have so much access. See, that's the thing. Most people don't want to commit because they know it's so much access. How can you trust a person, like, to say that they love and they just want to be with you, but as soon as you turn your back, this person's in his phone or they on the computer. You don't, like, how do you trust her? Because it's like, as soon as you out, like, you would have to, the only way you would know a person is being faithful to you, you got to spy. I'm sorry. You got to know how a person feel about you when they think you ain't around. That's the only way it's going to happen. So y'all better get your spy devices. Go to spytech.com, whatever the fuck they got, because that's the only way you, all that guessing and shit, that's the only way. We talk about put trackers on cars, nigga. You better find out. You know, that's why you got things like cheaters and all that other stuff. People want to know.
My mom husband hired a private investigator.
On her?
Yeah.
Wow.
She had 3 niggas.
Ooh. Shucky
I
ducky.
said, damn, Mom.
Did they stay together after that?
Yeah, they still together.
Wow.
They still together.
See, that's, I don't know if that's love or just, sometimes it could just be some sucker shit. I don't know if you watch or become that.
My mom had
I'm just saying, dude.
her ex-husband living in the same house with her new husband.
Well, she's pimping.
That's
She
what
a
my
bitch.
friends be saying.
She
They be like,
pimping.
bitch, your mom is a pimp.
She the big boss, so you ain't too far from the tree.
I don't do it like that.
You
I
may
don't
not
got
do it
time.
like that, but it's dear. Because, you know, I've never seen nobody talk slick, no guys that you ever had. You know how you hang out, and but none of them never talked like after that. So that might not be for you. Like, you might not be attracted to the slick talking guys. That ain't your thing. But you know, just from observing, a lot of women like that shit.
Cause I see right through the game, like, you know what I'm saying. My dad is an ex pimp, so.
So you seen it, so seeing that
I know the
then
game,
wanna
like, you know
play
what I'm
that
saying.
out in your own life.
I know when niggas is spitting game. I know it. You know what
so
I mean?
you got trained early. To know
yeah,
what it
real
is.
early.
And but it's unfortunately that the majority of people don't have a clue what's going on. I learned from other women in my family. You know, my grandma told me this on my mom's side, that you never trust a woman. You know why she said that? Because a woman keep niggas for different things. Now, just as an older lady, of course we know this ain't true for every individual on the planet. Okay? We just saying that there are an alarming more people that keep multiple partners just for gratification, like for
You said
fulfillment.
your grandma told you that?
Yeah, a long time
My
ago,
grandma-
cause they old school. We talk about they was born in the 20s and stuff like that.
My nana told me, she said, don't ever be with no dude who can't do nothing for you. She said, I ain't never been with nobody who can't do nothing for me. Cause I was like, all right, calm down. You know what I'm saying? She used to always be on me about that, having dudes that have something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the fallback from that is the dudes that's doing stuff for you want something in return. Eventually. Eventually. So that's the thing. You might already be getting all these gifts, but you're going to have to spread and bend over and split on call. And if that ain't going down, then the gift stop. As soon as that dude ain't getting with you, unless you got a beta male simp nigga who you could just pimp like that, and he going to be like, okay. You got a lot of them. And those dudes are desirable for different reasons. He going to pay the bills. He going to, buy your car, whatever. Who ain't going to take none of that? But even that guy is getting fucked over. Like, don't think your money's going to keep your mate. And this is for women, too. For you women who ballers and making more money than your man, your money not going to keep that dude. He'll go fuck a broke bitch just because he ain't got to hear her mouth. That's real talk. Because women that got money, she boss talking you. She not trying to hear that. She's not going to help you with some money and be submissive. She might make you feel like that. But then that conversation come up where the electric bill coming up, it's $600. What you got on it? Oh, baby, I ain't got nothing on it right now. See, that type of shit. That's how you lose your manhood points.
No, you know how you lose your manhood points? When y'all be falling off. You know what I'm saying? You know how good, we living good, and then the nigga fall off, and then we lose the house, we lose the car. Just be like, damn, but I can't do everything. But you gotta hold it down. You can't I don't like that falling off shit. And niggas gotta do better. For real.
So, I mean, there's ups and downs. There's all types of
You're
reasons
right.
for
It
losing
is.
stuff. I mean, it get to the point where
But
if it's
to
like
keep
that,
on
you should
falling
just
off?
yeah. But it's just
No. Nobody gonna keep on struggling all their life with somebody.
I mean, the struggle. It depends on what you deem as what's the struggle. Because now we got the COVID thing, and we seen that there were things forced on us that you couldn't control. Like the time you couldn't go outside. If you went outside, you got $1,000 or $2,000 fine just for being outside. That fucked with people. So there was a lot of unrecoverable relationships out of those experiences. You know what I'm saying? Like when you don't have that communication, you don't have that intimacy no more, and now we're not even in a society that caters to that anymore. How you gonna start over? We looking at some dark days. If you got, if you got somebody right now that's fit half the bill, be happy. Be happy all you can, because don't think it's going to get better. It's going to get more wilder out here, to where that whole relationship thing is going to be a luxury. It's a luxury to have somebody to sleep with. That's a luxury. That's not a right no more. That's supposed to be a human right to have partnership with somebody. Women were made for men, but not no more. You got the majority of American population where you got you got the guys that give a fuck about a woman. They'll give a shit. And those dudes get more play from the women. That's why the women be all fucked up when you find a nigga gay. Because you said that I don't give a fuck. You took the messages as, oh, he just playing hard to get. He just playing masculine alpha male, but really he didn't give a fuck. Only reason he was fucking your ass to just, probably get you out of his face or something, give you what you want so you leave. But really had something else going on. That's real talk. Cats don't be wanting to talk about that because these will be sensitive situations, and I don't be trying to be politically correct. Like, when we hear these type of things, like I watch other people's shows when they touch these subjects and shit, and I be wanting to see how deep they gonna go. But a lot of times they keep it on a surface level. You'll go into certain things, but they're not gonna go into like the deep depths of it, like we did tonight. We talked about certain levels of relationship that's often not talked about. The player part, that most people got multiple partners. Most people do. For whether you like it or not. And it's not restricted to just age. You could be 100 years old and still getting your groove on. Some people just accept it after a while. You got some people that are and straight up just with them too. But 9 times out of 10, those are older people. The young folk, I don't see it too much, but then I'm not all over the place to see it either. You know what I'm saying? We got the Facebook, we got the Instagram, and this is a way we can see other people enjoying their stuff. So I've seen some young couples that look like they're pretty happy. So that's a good encouragement because that makes you happy. When I see people happy, that kind of give me encouragement.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I was trying to build on like the relationship thing and trying to show that more on the show. That's what I was doing by bringing Vega on with her thing, and then my man Unique with his woman. I was trying to put that together, but we'll see how that go. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't have too many positive examples of relationships, and shit happens. You know what I'm saying? Even like people always want to know. We talk about relationship. What about your personal shit? Now my shit is, it ain't with all perfect and shit, but you gotta kind of. I'm not satisfying for nothing because sometimes you don't even know if you're in a relationship when there's no communication.
Right.
Whether a person working or whatever. I'm just in a situation where I'm like open, nigga. I'm open, and I don't give a fuck if she sees this or not. Like, yo, that's where I'm at with it. Like, yo, you go get the truth, whether up on this show or not. Because when you decide to deal with people who do this type of thing, you run the chance of your shit getting talked about. You know what I'm saying? Like, me in my position, if I'm going through something, why should I have a show where I can't talk about my own shit? Where I could get on here and talk about everybody else's shit, but guard my own. My shit fucked up.
Right.
And I can't, I might have to, let that out so maybe I might come across the person who could understand where I'm coming from and they make that move or something like that. But if you be quiet and you don't have no outlet like me, if you isolated, working a lot or doing projects and stuff, I'm not in the position to be hollering at women or even doing any of that because, you're just not in them zones like that. And when it do come, whatever person I run across, that's not going to be to myself. That's other people involved. And I definitely ain't spending a bunch of money no more. That ain't the way because I seen that. I used to think that's what you had to do. Spend money.
It is with some, because with me, you got to spend a couple dollars.
Yeah, I just
For
ain't
real.
doing that no more because I'm pretty much ruined for that, especially at this age.
I'm not going
I done
to.
got
I'm
played.
not.
I done got played already, so that shit is like
All that not buying, bitch, gift Valentine's Day and Christmas and stuff. I'm not doing that.
You could do that. I mean, some of that's cool. It's just after you done got fucked over a few times,
Right.
and you could buy gifts, but I was never the person like the holidays. I'm like that dude said. I'm kind of like that too. I don't really celebrate no holidays but then if I'm with somebody, we might go to a function, do something. But I'm not no gift receiving dude. People don't do that shit for me, so I don't do it. I mean, you might get some socks or some shit like that, but nothing significant enough to be like, oh man, that was dope, or you bought me a keyboard or a jacket or some shit like that. I don't get that or that. It's always me putting out. So that's why I don't, do stuff like that. I mean, I had a couple women do something, but ain't nothing like significant. They might think it is, but it's not. Because you ever been with somebody and they thought that what they did for you was greater than what any of your exes ever did. But in actuality, it's not. And they might not have the capacity to deal with the fact that one of her exes did way more than you did, but for some strange reason, she don't want that. She with you. That's what men be having a problem dealing with. Why you want me when I'm fucked up or something going on when you could be over there doing that with that dude? He hollering at you like, where, a lot of times when that's happening, we don't feel like you got a ground to stand on. Like, where's all that love? That's when it make it feel like it's bullshit after a while. If you a conscious person, like, any, certain cats that just eat it up just for the sake of the relationship to say they got somebody. But a conscious person is going to look at every little nook and cranny and be like, every word that got spoke, nothing slipping past, nothing, every sentence you paying attention to. And as soon as you feel like is not the way it's supposed to be. It's not, you're not reciprocating what you're giving out, or you're not getting what you're giving out. You know, it's a bad thing. Like you kind of gotta get out. I had some other video I was gonna play, but we did pretty good. Like this with this. You know what I mean? I guess this maybe I had to do this more often. There was a fluent conversation. We wasn't at a loss for words, wasn't no blank spots or nothing. And you talk more.
Yeah, good
More
shit.
than you usually do. And she let out some secrets. She talked some shit. I might have to rewind it back. And she dropped some jewels too. The jewels what I got from you is women like gifts. They like, you know, if you like the pretty woman stuff, you know, some of that stuff will help you get in good favor, but after you do it, you gotta keep doing it. So that's money involved. So yeah, you gotta spend some money and stuff like that. But just don't feel like you tricking.
Shit.
Cause that's because you got that feel like that. As soon as they spend a dime, you feel like you tricking. And you got cats that don't mind doing that. It depends on how they were raised. But if you're looking for love, you got to get with a cat that was raised in that way. And the only way you probably gonna find out if they had to be some type of spiritual person. Cause a guy in the streets ain't got it. Ain't no, you know, if a guy in the streets is out in the streets, he ain't think about God, yo. You think about that money. And that money is their God.
But I know a street dude sell weed and Sunday play the drums for the church.
But that's a hustle. That's a hustle. I mean, I know a lot of church musicians.
Sell Buddha Bud.
Yeah,
but
I
he
know,
play the keyboard.
I know
for
a
the
lot
church.
of a lot of musicians that play for the church, but they don't necessarily live. They like to play for the church. I just go for the money. I wasn't
Right, that's
into
what they
none of
go
that
for.
shit.
Yeah.
And we trying to fuck all the bitches, all the loose women, and it's just that's real talk. Cause all the freaks are in church. You may be up there praising the Lord, but outside of that, she getting dick down. Maybe by the pastor, maybe by the pastor's wife. Look, man, sexuality is open nowadays. There's no rules. There's no rules saying that you have to just be with this one person or you got to be with one gender. So now we got the younger generation where they doing multiple shit. And the old folks, we can't keep up with all that shit if you used to. And that's the separation.
Like my daughter likes girls and guys. She like both.
So
And
that
she
might be
admitted
that,
it. She
that
said,
might,
"Mom." She said, "Mom." She was on FaceTime.
So you might have a different way to deal with that.
She
'cause
said,
of the
"Mom,
woman.
come meet my girlfriend."
Did that bother you, or
No,
just
it
like,
don't bother me because I'm used to seeing that. My
Yeah.
sisters gay, my aunts are gay. Like it's so much. I'm just used to it.
Yeah, I ain't used to it. I'm still like coming to grips with some of that stuff. Like,
No, when she said it, I was like, "Oh, okay." Did you eat her pussy? No, not
I
yet.
would not see. I like my daughter. I ain't want to put her stuff out there. I don't ask her certain questions like that because I'm still like, as you know,
She
my
just
daughter,
came out and told me.
My daughter just really be getting back together after a lengthy time. So some of the stuff I talk to her about won't be as etchy because she's really not like that. She's more conservative with that. Like she doesn't do the whole club thing with that and all of that. Just like personal preference. And I think it's because a lot of men are just fucked up. And she sees it. She hasn't seen anybody or dealt with anybody that made her feel like she wanted to deal with this guy. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's crazy, but that's the culture now. And even me, even though I ain't with none of that stuff, so many people with it, it's like when you just like that's the problem between finding mates because most people ain't heterosexual no more. They going both ways. The men and the women. So that's why I said like you're not really having nobody to yourself in these areas. Like you might be we in Robbinsville with it. You might find because they ain't out here running around like that. But when you in the inner city setting, man, it's hard to trust anybody. I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy it. I'm not even going to hold you people. Like men, look, if you in the inner city, man, look, you gonna have to keep tabs on that woman and let her know she ain't doing nothing on the side. Because if you ain't, it's going down, bro. Especially if you ain't, the breadwinner or, she got to get money from other places. Already assume that. Anytime you can't pay a bill, she going to get it from somebody else, bro. For real. And there may be somebody in a real relationship that doesn't do that, that's pissed off at me right now. And they be like, well, I'm doing my thing for real, even though my man ain't got it, But deep in the back of your mind, You may not, but in the back of your mind, you think about somebody else. So to go ahead with the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like you thinking, oh man, I love my man. So love only go but so far. You know, you could, cause love will have you doing dumb shit all the time. Love will have you doing some dumb ass shit. So this is why people are swaying away from that whole love thing, because you don't want to look like an idiot. Because a lot of times you be the only one in love, and the other person is have symptoms of it, but it wasn't really for you. And it goes both ways. Like you got women that are faithful to the men, but the men just ain't gonna get that from him. She's for another woman. You know what I'm saying? Or he might need both. He might need both. Like you might fulfill one thing and the other one fulfill the other. Because very rarely do one person fulfill all these obligations that one each other wants. You know what I'm saying? Like you got these preferences, and it's hard to find all that in one person. You might. This ain't saying you got to always, sleep with the other person sexually. The other person could just be conversation wise, and like say you might have a freak in the bed that do all that stuff and play all the other part in a relationship, but ain't no wisdom. There's no spirituality in that, so you can't get that part from them, even though you might be married or in this committed relationship, but you have somebody at the job or somebody at the bus stop or somebody you meet at the store that you do have them conversations with. And you might not, like I said, you might not be sleeping with them, but when the man that is sleeping with you sees that, he feels, what's the word? He feels underappreciated or just low. That's gonna make him depressed because he knows that you might be with him, but he can't fulfill you in that way because you getting that from somebody else. And once you find that way out, that drops your low self-esteem. That will drop your esteem. Because it's like, damn, I thought I had on this, but she's really into this. And I can't do that. Like, I'm not even into that. Then you start questioning, well, why they fucking with me? So out of that, why they fucking with me, that person is more susceptible to another person, to where you getting with this and he's pleasing this woman in a different way, to where she's acknowledging him and saying, hey, I'm letting you know you got everything I need. I like the way you do that. I like the da-da-da. But another woman, she's not saying that, but she making him feel like that. You know what I'm saying? This is how the multiple partner thing gets started, and vice versa. You just put the shoe on the other foot.
All I know is I'm tired. I'm ready to get married. Like, but I want to be. I don't want to
like,
just.
but you
marry,
don't
'cause I
wanna
could have got
just
married
marry
a couple
anybody.
times. Right. That's what I'm saying. I could have got married a couple times.
Yeah, but are these people that you have solid relationships with, or just people that was financially well off?
It was a guy I had a solid relationship with, but he was on the fucking been bad list.
Oh shit!
I was mad as hell. I was like, what?
Damn, the been bad. Now, for those who don't
Then
know
went on
who the
Facebook.
been bad is,
Then
Been
gave me a
Bad.
ring on Facebook, so everybody knew that.
Didn't that happen? Oh, that's embarrassing. I know. I can imagine. But you wanted to bust that nigga in his head. Like, you motherfucker embarrassed me like that? Because that drop your stock when shit like that happen.
I was like,
Yeah,
whoa.
because that could drop your stock. Well, when I say stock, it's like you might
And
have
that's
dudes coming at you,
dangerous.
and then you see that, and then cats get skeptical. Skeptical like, damn, well, you deal with this guy, he dealing with other niggas. You know what I'm saying? That make it hard. And that to go both ways, too. You know what I'm saying? So, I feel you. I would be pissed off too. But this was deep, man. This was deep. Like, time fly when you have a conversation like that. I was trying to, we started late, but we kind of like really did the 2 hours and shit. But this was good. We got to do this again.
Yeah, we had to get some.
I didn't even have to get the videos out. Shout out to Vega. I know if she was here, this shit would have been off the roof. It was off the roof anyway, but I really wanted y'all two to meet up and shit. She's pretty cool, and she's like eventually working on her own show called The Queen's Corner. And she be on her shit, yo. She's real sharp with her shit. So shout out to Z Vega. You know what I mean? She'll be here hopefully next week. We got Sunday. We'll be at Sipping. What they call it? Sipping. I'm about to look it up. The sip and something in Marsville, PA. What is it? The sipping something. There's some shit I ain't never heard of yet.
With the press conference, right?
The press conference, but this is for Tyrant Fly, and he's doing press conference. I'll be trying to find it. Here you go. It's Sip and Spin, 15 Washington Street, Marsville, PA. It's for 2 to 4 p.m. and they will have, it's like a bunch of media outlets.
So
we'll
Sip
be there.
and Spin mean they gonna spin his records and we gonna hear it?
I think that means it's in the laundromat and they converted it to some type of red carpet event. I'm not sure though. That might not be the place. It might not be that. It might be something else that I don't know. Because they do got some new stuff in Marshville that I went to. Like, they got a hookah place. It's a nice club.
Wait, is it Spend, SPEND, or SPIN?
SPIN. Sip and Spin.
It don't specify what that means on there?
Nah. So yeah, we know we're gonna see how it go.
I hope it means spinning the record.
Yeah, right. We got First Fan Radio gonna be there. Balls All Night, Almighty Entertainment, Stressed Out Radio, Supreme Alliance Radio Show, the Monk Show. That's us. Mr. Dramatic Show, Karma Customs, the Gravel Pit, and more. So check that out. Tyra Fly, Don Black will be there. They're featuring. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna be doing like a press conference. So y'all come out, check it out, you see how it go. You know what I mean? You know, we always doing something.
Can't wait to support Ty. He's
gonna have to bust a freestyle. Forever. So you know, you gonna have to get some questions for him. I could just come up, but I probably should just write something because, you know, when we go out and do stuff, you know, we just have to look good. You know what to do. Throw something nice on. I don't even know what I'm gonna wear. I ain't want to get too spiffy. I just want to do something where I still got sneakers on. I ain't really want to do no shoes and no shit. Not yet. Because I don't, you know, maybe we'll get a chance to see where the event at. You know what I mean? We'll probably going to there. But he did say we didn't
something
really
casual.
have to get, we didn't have to really get dressed up like that.
Something casual, okay.
So that tells me, you know, it's probably not a spot where you got to do all that at. Even though, like, I know that there's some new spots over there because a cousin of mine took me to the hookah spot and they got some nice stuff over there where we know I had to go over there and start chilling. We can do some parties over there, man. PA, here we come, because you know Jersey fucking up. We ain't got shit over here. At least y'all over there opening up and chilling and shit. You know what I mean? So we got to come get the shit. Need to open South Street back up. So South Street is open back up.
Yeah, it's open.
You know what I mean? I ain't been there since all this stuff happened, so I got to start getting back out myself. You know what I mean? But you got any shout outs? Anything you want to say?
Shout out to everybody. God bless everybody. May you live the way you want to live, because right now this COVID shit got us all fucked up.
Yeah. Trying to recover. Trying to get it together. Yeah, I know about it. But I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? And I guess we just see you next week.
All right. Put that put your beat on. That
What
one
beat?
you just what was that
the
one?
we was playing in the beginning?
Yeah, what's that?
I guess that'll be the
Because you
outro
make
song.
some your
That'll be
beats
the outro.
be I'm telling you, I ain't.
Well, that'll make somebody up for some time. All right, give me the volume on the iPad. We're going to take it out with the song and just let that play out. Yeah. Well, on the... Oh, man, it's playing the wrong thing. See, the iPad do what the hell they want to do. I be feeling like it's being controlled. I'm pressing the button for the song and it will not go. They just like, hell no, we don't want you to play that song. We gonna play what we want you to play.
That's crazy.
See, I'm pressing the button?
And that's an iPad?
Yep. It just won't go.
You pay all that money for that thing.
Just won't go.
To do what it wanna do.
It won't even light up. I can't even press the song like I want to. It won't even do it. See how fucked up that shit is? Like,
and how much that costs?
I don't
One of
even
them
know
costs.
if it's necessarily the iPad. I think it's more or less the website that's doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this the first time that ever happened, yo. Like, I can't press something and, you know, want to press all this other stuff and it's blanked out the songs I want to play.
Which one you want to listen to?
These ones, see how they blanked out? They're not lit up.
So you can't play them.
See how this one lit up is more brighter, but these ones for some reason has been. I can't play them no more. I guess I gotta let me see. I'm gonna just reload the page and see what happened. Cause this stuff be crazy. We gonna just do all of this just to play the song. I got to reload the page. Fuck you, SoundCloud. Y'all be doing some bitch ass nigga shit. That's some old faggot shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit ain't never happened before. Somebody on the other side, we gonna let you play this song. You gonna have to reload the page.
On the other side, right?
You got to reload the page. Then it take forever to get anything out of it. It's always some crazy shit. But yeah, we'll see you next week. And see, look, have you registered to vote? Then kiss my motherfucking ass. Vote for what? 2 fools? Fuck out of here, man. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.